הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לי 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 לי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לי 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 לי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Nous revoilà pour la dernière partie de ce congrès. J'espère que vous avez passé un agréable moment dans vos petits groupes et que vous avez pu échanger vos Insta, vos numéros, vos mails. Notre congrès touche bientôt à sa fin, mais nous tenons à partager avec vous ce dernier message avec le pasteur Josanne Barrientos, qui nous vient tout droit des États-Unis. Il est responsable du pôle jeunesse de la Fédération adventiste du 7e jour du Potomac. Depuis vendredi, nous avons eu l'occasion, grâce à Jérémy et Diana Zwicker, d'être connectés à Dieu et d'être connectés les uns avec les autres. Ce soir, Josanne Barrientos va nous expliquer comment nous devons être connectés au monde, le troisième aspect. Mais avant son intervention, je vous invite à savourer ce doux temps musical.
Good afternoon and happy Sabbath to everyone. Well, happy Sabbath to me here in Washington, D.C., United States. But all the friends and family in Europe, it's almost happy week. So feliz semana, happy week to everyone. We have been enjoying a wonderful time in the event, the Belgian Youth Congress. And I want to thank all the leadership, everybody that has put this event together for the opportunity that you're giving me to be with you guys. I am very honored and happy to be with you and sharing this moment in which we are looking for the many different ways, learning about the many different options that we have to connect with the Lord. Once again, God bless you, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Jose Barrientos, or known as Josant Barrientos. I have the honor and privilege to serve the Lord as the welcome for the last stretch that we have in this amazing event, this amazing youth congress, in which not only youth from Belgium are coming together, but youth from all over the world. And this is something because we can connect to one another, we can connect to God, but we can connect to the community in a very special way. During these have many wonderful things, many blessings that we presenters, all the leadership that has put this event together, but even more, your Holy Spirit is being poured out on everyone that is attending, that has been connecting to this signal, to this stream. With the assurance, Father, that you're with us, we're about to open the best love letter ever written in the universe, the Bible. Want to hear your voice, want to feel your embrace. We're desperate for your love. With the assurance of Father that you're with us, we ask everything in the powerful name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Once again, let's get everything ready because we're going to be starting with an amazing story. We're going to be going deeper into something that we have many lessons to get out of, but I'm going to be sharing only 3 lessons as studying it. So with that in mind, I want to share with you a presentation, a video, specifically a video in which we need to keep in mind that our main emphasis for tonight is connect with our community. Look around, everything that you have the opportunity to be part of, the opportunity that you have the chance to enjoy. What are the ways that you can connect to the people that are around you? And this is something that you need to keep in mind because it's going to be an amazing thing to experience. So here we go. I'm going to be sharing the presentation. Just this video, pay attention to it because it talks about something that we are called to do, connect with our community. So here we go. I am not making any promotion of any battery or anything, but one of the things that I really appreciate about this video is that we need one another. I know that we are getting to the moment of the winter season, that cold starts to come. Well, here in the States, it's starting to be really, really cold. And I'm sure that all the different parts in Europe, Scandinavia, if you're in Norway, if you're in Sweden, or all of these other places, it's going to be cold. It's starting to be cold. So I love this because the whole idea behind this bus station, this moment to this place, it was to be warm, to be with a more comfortable ambience, with a more comfortable environment. But the one thing that they needed to do, it was to connect to one another. Yes, there was one that needed to touch one area and the other one needed to touch the other one, but one person cannot do it by itself. It's too far away from each other in order to connect. But if one person put the hand on the switch and the other one is connecting or holding hands with the other ones, it started to work. It started to make that connection. And this is something that, that we are called to do, connect with our community. Think about this. Question for you guys. How many of you do know at least 10 of your neighbors? At least 10. If you're one of those, wow, that'll be good. If you can, I can see here in the Facebook feed. If you are able to do that, I would like for you to raise your hand or just type it in. I know 1, I know 2, I know 3, I know 10, I know 20. If you know even more of your neighbors, that's amazing. Not just neighbors where you live, but also the place of work that you have. And I know this situation with the pandemic and all of these new protocols, new lockdowns and things, that has changed many of the ways that we have with interact with people or connect with our community. But just think about that. How many people are you able to connect? But it's interesting though, because when we started this year, 2020, we had a bucket list, we had a to-do list. And I know that we all have that, and we can be in our cell phones, it can be that we have it on that we write it down or something, but we all have that to-do list. But what is a to-do list that you have? What we're gonna be studying today is the season of service. This is something that that I want you to know. I want you to start to look at it. That's the title for the presentation of today, that connect with community. That season of service. Why season of service? Because yes, we're living in a moment in which there are so many changes going on. There are so many things happening, but this is the special time for us to be of service, for us to connect with our community. And there is a text that I love. There is something that I really appreciate how it puts everything together. Let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 27. Book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 27. It has something special going on, that it talks specifically to connect with our community. Look, this is King Nebuchadnezzar. He just had a dream, and he is calling all the different magicians, all the different fortune tellers, and also the prophets that he had, the people that knew, and none of them could have helped him, but he came to Daniel. It's just a story that is repeating with many of the dreams that the King Nebuchadnezzar had. But in this case, look at what Daniel tell Nebuchadnezzar in regards to the dream that he has. We're going to be learning a little bit about the dream, but I want you to pay attention to this. It says, "So, O king," this is Daniel talking to the king, "please accept my advice and stop sinning and do what is right, and stop doing wicked things and be kind to the poor. Then you might continue to be successful." Successful is a word that many of us are looking into, that many of us would like to experience. Success is an amazing thing. That's why I was asking, what is your to-do list? And in preparation for this presentation, I was looking into the to-do list that were popular for the 2020, the beginning of the 2020 year. Of course, at the beginning, we didn't know everything that was going to be happening, this pandemic and all the changes and protocols and things. But at the beginning of 2020, these were the most popular things to be on a to-do list. The first one, clean the house, clean the apartment. Have you had that in your to-do list for the 2020? And to clean the apartment or to clean the house, it was not just to do a regular cleaning. No, it was just to throw things, fix things, and just make the house better. That was the first thing. The second thing, it was to buy food, in the sense of prepare, get the food that it was better for the body. It started to have a different diet. That was one of the most popular things at the beginning of 2020. Also, finish to pay school, finish to pay a house, finish to pay a debt. Whatever debt that it was on a credit card, it was a car, it was a house, whatever debt. It was 2020 has to be the year to finish to pay the debts. Another one, it was exercise. It start 2020 exercising, taking care of the body, taking care of ourselves. Another one, it was fix the car, organize the room, organize the car, answer emails. There were so many different things in the to-do list of 2020. But it was interesting though, because all of these things started to change. All of these things started to become really different. The first month it was okay. Second month started to come, but March started to check everything. What was your to-do list for 2020? What were the items that you had there for 2020? It was something that it needed to change. But there is another to-do list called the bucket list. And that is something that it's not just for a period of time. Bucket list is for the rest of your life. And these are the items, more popular ones for 2020 when it started, the bucket list. Travel the world. How many of us were planning to do trips, and we were planning to do it with family, with friends, or just a reunion to get together with people, or even for this event, the Belgium Youth Congress. At the beginning, I was sure that it was planning for many youth to travel to a specific place and be able to see one another, enjoy a presentation, enjoy a seminar, or just time that a youth congress bring and help us to enjoy. Another one in the bucket to developing relationships and computer and in front of the screen, and many people getting tired of it and not being able to do everything as they would like to do. So in the bucket list, as they were starting the 2020, another one, own a home, find a place where to live, where to start to have some roots. Different things for the bucket list. Learn a new language. That's another of the bucket list that many people were thinking when they started the 2020. Learn a new language. And I know right now this event it's being translated in many different languages. This broadcast is just going through many different countries with many different languages that are being spoken. And how amazing it is when you are able to communicate with a person in the language that they are comfortable with, in the language that they love. So that was another item in the bucket list. The other one, run a marathon. And many marathons have become virtual. Now you by yourself are running and everything, just making sure that you are logging in the distance that you are running. Another one, skydiving, many different things. But the last one, and it was interesting because connecting with our community, at the beginning was not on the top of the bucket list or at the top of the to-do list. But the last one, listen to what it was. It was a popular one. Listen to this one. Be a volunteer for a good cause. How about you? When you started this 2020, were you thinking about that? Were you thinking about being a volunteer for a good cause, whatever that cause it was? I know many times we are always thinking about the things that we like, the things that we would like to do, the things that we would like to experience. But it was interesting that the last item in the 2020 bucket list, and it was not popular in the to-do list, the regular to-do list for the people in 2020, the beginning of 2020, was be a volunteer for a good cause. If we go back to the Bible, Daniel chapter 4 talks about something special, a dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. And I'm going to be taking 3 lessons out of it, 3 lessons that have to apply to all of us, because all of these things are the things that we have to also be part of. The first one is that we need to make sure that you get that Bible, open up book of Daniel chapter 4. I'm just going to be going to a specific text, but your homework is study the whole chapter because it gives an amazing perspective of what we are called to do, of what we need to keep in mind. Daniel chapter 4. Here, there is a description of a dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that he saw a big tree, an amazing tree. And it was a tree that it was giving shade. It has fruits. There were birds, animals coming down to live under the shade, under the protection that these big tree was giving. And it was a special tree because it was not a tree that it was small. It was huge. It was big. And everybody can see it from all over the world. Everybody was coming to the tree. Everybody was coming to it because it was providing protection. It was providing shade. It was providing food. It was just an amazing source of everything. However, there was a voice that he heard that voice said, this tree is going to be cut down. And the tree was cut down. And for 7 years, that tree was not able to grow. And it was something that just, wow, what is happening with this? This is something that I don't understand. And he was just looking into what is the meaning of it. And it's when he started to look, he started to call the magicians, he started to call everybody to come and tell him, what is this happening? And then Daniel can, and give the meaning of this dream. And it's interesting though, because in the meaning of the tree, Daniel tells Nebuchadnezzar, you are these three. You have this amazing kingdom that it's the most powerful kingdom in the world. And later on, you'll see that this time, even Ellen G. White mentions that it was so powerful that it have never been other empire like this. It was so powerful that many people were coming to it. He was the one that he was helping the other communities to come. But it was interesting because he was not doing it because he wanted to, out of heart, out of love. It was because he was being comfortable by people looking for him to provide. He was feeling like there is nobody else like me. I can do whatever I want. I can do it in a way that everybody's gonna come to me. He started to feel like a god. He started to portray himself as, wow, this is me. I have done everything. Look at this. If we go to the book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 4, there's the description of how everything started before even the dream came. Look at this. Verse 4 of chapter 4, book of Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar said, I, Nebuchadnezzar, was happy and successful at my palace. Successful. This is a word, a very interesting word, because I want to share with you a little bit about the moment of this word, the meaning of this word, successful. Think about this. Remember, we're talking about community, connecting with our community, because we all have our kingdom. We all have our possession. It might be that it's a lot. It might be that it's not a lot. It might be that we are working towards it, but we are the stewards, the kings, that we own something, and we have the saying, we have the power to make decisions out of what we have. And success, this is a very powerful word. Success is the state of being comfortable, as freedom from pain or trouble, freedom from care or having comfort of body or mind, freedom from labor or difficulty, freedom from embarrassment or constraint, a relaxed and informal way of behaving. Pay attention to that. Success. Yes, success, it could be in different levels, but every time that you feel successful, every time that you feel comfortable, every time that you feel that you're doing everything good, many times we start to relax and we start to behave in different ways. And look at the people around, the ones that are making money. They are just throwing the money out. And sometimes people are just, you can see the two big different areas, the ones that need and the ones that have too much that they don't even know what to do with it. But let's bring it home. Let's bring it to our life. Look around. It could be in your house. It could be in your room. You might be in your car or something. Just look around. Look at all the things that you have. Are they make you feel successful? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel, this is okay, I'm relaxed. I still have to work, but I'm okay. I feel good. This is something that we need to keep in mind. Every time that we are successful, that success is not ours to have. That success come from the Lord. There is a very amazing quote by Miles Monroe that says in this way, and I want to share it with you. It says, the greatest strategy in life is not death. Listen to that. And more in during this time that we are in this pandemic and sadly people dying. The greatest strategy in life is not death, but a life without a purpose. He also said, you are not important because of how long you live. You are important because of how effective you live. Listen to that. Listen to that. How much success are you experiencing that you feel that your purpose have been done? Talking about a to-do list and bucket list, how many of those items you have already completed? And every time that you make that, you take away that item, you feel successful. Wow, I have done something more. King Nebuchadnezzar, when Daniel was explaining to him, describing to him the meaning of this vision that he had, he said, Nebuchadnezzar, you are these three. You are successful, just as what King Nebuchadnezzar was saying. I am successful. I am walking through this, my palace. And he said, you are that tree. You have grown. You have done so many wonderful things. You have built amazing things. You have conquered so many lands. You have developed. You have construct. You have studied. You have done so many amazing things that people from all over the world know about you. That people are coming to you because what you have is something that they need. It's not well shared with people. It can destroy your life. Because as the meaning of success means, a relaxed and informal way of behaving. Success, it could be in a behavioral way, it could be in a finance way, but it's very deeper meaning. Because when you need to connect with people, you need to remember that your main purpose is to help others. Your main purpose is not to hold everything for yourself. You need to connect with one another. King Nebuchadnezzar, he was listening to this description of this meaning of what the vision meant. But when it came to the moment that Daniel said, but there is a moment in which if you don't stop just keeping things for yourself and you start to treat people well, you're going to be cut down. And for 7 years, you're not going to be the one that people are going to be talking about. You're not going to be the one that people are going to be coming to because you're going to behave in a very different way that nobody's going to be wanting to be close to you. And in the description in chapter 4 verse of the book of Daniel, it talks about that he didn't care. He heard what it was happening, but something started to happen. 12 months later, after the moment that Daniel told him the meaning of it, 12 months later, something happened, and it was when he was cutting down. If you go to verse 29, in verse 29, there is that description. It says, Book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 29. 12 months later, as he was walking on the roof of his palace in Babylon, he said, I have built this great Babylon as my royal home. I built by my power to show my glory and majesty. My. How many things or how many times we have gone through the same thing? That when we need something, we go to God, we ask him. And when he provides what we are looking for, we forget that we need to depend on him. Our purpose, as Miles Monroe mentioned it, it's not how long we live. It's how effective we are living. And let's put it into our words. It's not how many blessings you receive. It's not how much success you have. It's how much of that success, or how much of those blessings you are sharing with people. We have so many opportunities nowadays in order to be able to connect with the community. And we don't need to have that physical touch. Now we have many different platforms. It could be your cell phone, it could be your computer, it could be your tablet, it can be many different ways. But many times we forget that we need to develop relationships. Because one of the biggest problems that we have in connecting with our community is that we think what the community needs, and we bring to the community what we think they need, when in reality, it's not. Because we have never developed a relationship with the community. One of the ways that we have done this, and once a year we celebrate the Global Youth Day, that we are supposed to go out and do community service, be the sermon. But this is something that we need to keep doing every single day, if possible, every single month. So we try to do this. And the best way to do it is, instead of we deciding what the community needs, go and look for the places that are serving the community already. For example, something that has been big right now during this pandemic is that many people have lost their work, have lost job. They are not having any income coming. So that means that they are not having everything to pay their home, their different bills, or the most basic thing that even in the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, that people were coming to him because the tree had so much fruit, so much food, is that people are needing food. What we have done is Look for the place that they have providing food, like food banks or different organizations. And we have asked, do you need any help? And in that way, they have connected to us. They have been branching with us. And different churches, every single Monday, we go collect some food and we bring it to the churches. And in the churches, we organize the different packages so they can be taken to people, or people, whoever wants to come, belong to the church, or they, whoever, they can come to the building and get food for free. Blessings that people have that they can share. But imagine, in King Nebuchadnezzar, there was an increase that he was so happy, I have everything. But later on, it started to decrease because he started to see himself as the all-powerful one. How do you see yourself? Even in the midst of everything that is going on right now. You have food, you have a job, you might be having some problems, but always think that there is somebody else that is worse than you, that needs something that you are not using, something that you have a lot of. And we need to look for those people. Go to the city hall, go to the council and ask, what are the things that we can help? Also, look at the other places they're already helping. We don't have to create anything new in order to support people, in order to connect with the community. Support the places or the organizations that are already working, because those are the connections that we need to make. Those are the connections that we need to have. There's some organization, they have already put that foundation to do something for the community. But we need to develop relationships. If you remember what it was, the key thing that Jesus was doing, it was specifically that. He was working in a special way. And this is something that we can find in the Ministry of Healing, page 114. And this is something that we have heard many, many times. And this is something that we are also called to do. And it's this, that Christ's method alone will give true success, as the word that we're talking about, true success, not simple success, but true success, the one that we are going to be enjoying, true success in reaching the people. The Savior mingle, spend time with them. In other words, he was developing listening, because he needed to know the next part. With men as one who desired their good, he showed him sympathy for them, ministered to their needs. Listen to this. Connecting with the community is mingling with the community. It might not speak the same language that you speak. It might not look the same that you look, but they are children of the Lord, that they are looking for somebody to mingle with, and not just simple mingling. No, mingling as someone that desire their good, that learn with sympathy, that learn their needs, and then win their confidence. And I love this because look at this part: mingle, sympathy, needs, and confidence. This is something that even Daniel was telling Nebuchadnezzar. You need to stop looking at yourself from the roof of your palace, looking down to people. No, you have to calm down and spend with them, learn what they are going through. And many times, we don't give ourselves that opportunity to spend time with people. I don't know what is the condition or situation in the different countries that are being represented in this youth congress, but you do. You don't need to know exactly everything that is happening in your country. You only need to know what is happening in the building that you live with, around the house, in the neighborhood, and start to see the needs that people have. Some might be lack of food. Some might be money for paying a rent, or, and this is the hardest one, that is hard to find out and it's hard to provide, but it's the most needed one, more in this time of lockdowns, more of this time of being far away from each other or family. People are needing love. Listen to this, love. People are needing love, somebody to just talk to, somebody that can or want to listen to their needs. Listen to them, just to have that connection. It doesn't have to be a physical connection. It might be a phone call. It might be a text message. It might be a FaceTime or a video conference. And this is something when Daniel started to tell Nebuchadnezzar, hey, you need to remember. The advice is simple. Stop looking at yourself. Stop thinking about what you need and start doing the right thing and bless others. And bless others. I have prepared, and this is something that we share, and ideas of what to do in our communities. And this is something that I will provide to the Belgium Youth Congress leadership, so you can have this document. And I'm just going to share with you because it's a lot of things, but this is something that we have been working in our conference with our youth, and there's so many other options. There's just some of the ideas that we have prepared, depending of everything that we're going through. So ideas to connect with our community. It depending, like I said, so many different ideas, so many different things. I'm just going to be jumping from one to another. But remember, it depends. You need to learn the needs that your community had in order to connect with them. One of the ones that we have seen that has been very successful, depending the area of the church and everything, is single moms free oil change. Single moms. This is something that has grown because the devil has been also tackling that, destroying families. Also, Mother's Day carnation giveaway, something special for the mothers. Carry a meal to a sick or an elderly person. Also, go on an errand for a neighbor. Like for right now, there's so many older neighbors or friends that they are not that willing to go out because of the virus that is going on. But you can help them out. You can bring the food and put it close to them. So clean the house of somebody else, or help them clean the kitchen, or also visit a person, and doesn't have to be physical, but like, for example, something that I have done is that I call the members or whoever I'm going to be visiting, and from my car, I just go close to them and say, hey, how are you? And we're just talking to our phone and just looking to each other, just to give that support that people need. Also, offer neighbors the use of your phone for an emergency. Many people that have lost their jobs right now, they are needed to communicate with people. And of course, WhatsApp has been a blessing for so many and all of us. So offer the opportunity also, just simple things that you can do. And the list go on and on and on. We have put in many different things. And like I said, this is something that it will be provided to you guys, that you can do for others to connect with the community. Because the reality is this. The reality is this of what we need to do. Like I said, there's so many different ideas, and the list go on and on and on. Foster parents, furniture bank, blind camp, different things that you can do. Because the community, there are so many needs that we cannot make the list. But there is something that you need to remember. This is the key thing about connecting with the community. And this is something that we can find in letters and manuscripts of Ellen G. White from 1872. 1872, this is something that she wrote that it applies for all of us today, and is in connection with the purpose that we're called to be. Listen to this. This is a powerful thing. Those who live for a purpose. Remember, Daniel was telling Nebuchadnezzar, your purpose is to help people, is to help one another. You have been so much blessed. You're so successful that you are called. Your purpose is to bless the poor, to the poor, to help them. Do not oppress them. Do not make them feel bad. And that is the purpose that he was telling Nebuchadnezzar. And this is what Ellen G. White said. Those who live for a purpose, seeking to benefit and bless their fellow men and women, and to honor and glorify their Redeemer. Listen to that. That is your purpose. That is my purpose. Two things: benefit and bless. Benefit and bless. Repeat that to you: benefit and bless. I am here because my purpose is to benefit and bless. You might not be super successful as so many others could be, but everything that you have, it's a blessing that God has given you. Look around your home, look around your room, look around of all of the things that you have, and everything has been a blessing that somebody gave to you as a gift, as a help, but it has been a blessing. The purpose that we have is to bless and benefit others. And this is amazing. Continuing with what Ellen G. White wrote, are the truly happy ones on the earth. The ones that benefit and bless others are truly happy ones on the earth. Do you want to be happy? Connect with your community. Look for the things that you can benefit them, that you can bless them, and you're going to be happy. There is nothing else when you are helping someone have a smile on their face. There is nothing, nothing can describe how powerful that is. When you are the benefit, when you are the blessing that somebody else was looking for. But it don't stop there. And then you will continue saying, listen to this. While the man who is restless, discontent, and seeking this and testing that, hoping to find happiness, is always complaining of disappointment. Look at what's happening right now. How many people are complaining? If you turn on the news, you are always listening to bad news. Something that there is somebody that is protesting, somebody that is not happy with the decisions that have been made, and there is so many discontent, and they are not happy. He continues saying, he is always in want, never satisfied, because he lives for himself. And here is the key thing, himself alone. When you are only looking for yourself or thinking about yourself, when you are always looking to benefit and bless yourself, you're not going to be happy. If you pay attention to all the news that are happening, everybody is complaining about what the governments are doing. Is complaining about what this company is doing. Is complaining about what this person has done to me. But nobody is protesting against themselves. And nobody's saying, I am a bad person, I need to be different. No. Everybody is just like, I need to be different. And this is the last part that is powerful. Let it be your aim to do good, to act your part in life faithfully. Your aim is to do good. What are the to-do list items that you have for 2021? In your bucket list for 2021, what is the main item that you have? I hope that it can be connect with your community, because there is one person that can do a difference, and that's you. That is one person that can make everything different, and it's you. But you need to be the one that starts that movement. It's amazing because one of the things that happened in this dream that King Nebuchadnezzar had is that after 7 years, everything was restituted, that the tree started to grow again and starts to become stronger, and it was really, really strong. But it was because of one thing. At the end, he understood that every success, every blessing, everything, it comes from one source, and that source is God. The purpose is to benefit and bless others. You might be dreaming, I would like to make something that it can benefit millions of people, thousands, millions of people. But maybe God is telling you, you know what? I want to give you that, but you need to start blessing only one, being the benefit of only one. And it might not be your neighbor, it might be your family, how you treat your mom, how you treat your dad, how you treat your brothers, how you treat your family as a whole. You need to be that blessing, that benefit. Because if you start doing it a little by little, then you're going to be able to do it in a big scale. But you need to start by connecting to the Lord. And that's what happened with Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel said, hey, please, King, just listen to my advice, listen to my counsel. Stop sinning, stop looking to yourself, stop looking to benefit and bless yourself. And start thinking and bless everybody else with all the success that you have. And then I love what it says, because it was a powerful, and I'm full. Because when you are successful, but make any sense, because it doesn't matter how much success you have, but you don't have the opportunity to enjoy it with others, that success is not good. It's not mean. Sir had finished when he understood that the real success is when you connect with the community, when you bless the community, when you help the community. The last text, look at what it says. Daniel chapter 4, verses 28 and on. Listen to this. This is amazing. All these things happened to King Nebuchadnezzar, that he was like an animal, behaving like really bad, because remember, success, it relaxes you, any change your behavior when you are not connected to the source that is God. It says all of these things happened to King Nebuchadnezzar. 12 months later, as he was king on the roof, and he was saying that I have built all of this, I have done this, and this because of my power, my majesty. Verse 31, the words were still in his mouth when a voice from heaven said, King Nebuchadnezzar, these things will happen to you. Your royal power has been taken away from you. And I don't want that to happen to any of us. All the blessings that we have received, we need to share them so they are not going to be taken away from all of us. You will be forced away from people. You will live with the wild animals and doing things like you have never done before. He behaved like an animal. Verse 33. Immediately the words came through. Nebuchadnezzar was forced to go away from people, and he began eating grass like an ox. He became to behave like an animal. Verse 34. At the end of the time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, and I love how everything starts, because this is Nebuchadnezzar telling his story. Listen to verse 34. He is the one writing it. He is the one telling the story. And that's what we need to do. We need to tell the story of how the success that God is allowing us to have, it is blessing others. But as long as we are being active and we are doing this, we are going to be able to not experience bad things, but just experience that happiness, that the purpose of benefiting, of blessing others. He said, at the end of the time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, look up toward heaven and I could think normally again. Then I gave praise to the Most High God. I gave honor and glory to him who lives forever. Do you remember some time ago, he was on the top of the roof saying, my power, my success, me. But now he realized, all of it is thanks to God. And I love the next text, how Nebuchadnezzar starts to talk about the God, the real God, the one that you and I believe in, the one that you and I serve for, and the one that is giving us the success to serve other people. He said, God's rule is forever, and his kingdom continues for all time. People on earth are not truly important. Do you remember that we were talking about that? The Miles Monroe also talks about it, that the purpose, it's meaningful not because of how long you live, but how effective you live, are not truly important. Verse 35, God does what he wants, and the people on earth, no one can stop his powerful hand on question what he does. At that time, he said, I could think normally again, and God gave back my great honor and power and returned the glory to my kingdom. The people who advised me and the royal family came to me for help again. Imagine this. Even though he was away, he was suffering, he was bad, but God gave everything back to him. But even more power, because God knows all of us. He knows how he can use us and do amazing things through us. Verse continues saying, I became king again and was even greater and more powerful than before. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, give praise and honor and glory to the King of heaven. Everything he does is right and fair, and he is able to make proud people humble. How proud of you of the things that you have? This is the time that we need to start to make a new to-do list, a new bucket list, in the one that volunteering, doing something good for others, it's part of our lives. It's part of what we need to do. There is a quote that says, the service we render to others is really the rent that we pay for our room on this earth. Imagine that. The service we render or that we give to others is like the rent that we pay for the room that we have on this earth, the opportunity that we have to live on this earth. Help people, because we are not meant to be alone. We are meant to help one another. Connect to your community. And as closing, these are the 3 lessons that I want to leave with you. 3 lessons that are going to change our lives as long as we follow them. And these are the ones. The first one, allow yourself to learn more. What do I mean by this? Remember that I was telling you the best thing that we can do is connect with organizations that are already helping. We don't need to invent or create new things. There are already different ways that we can help the community. And it's easier to be a helping hand that is started to build everything when we cannot do it. Allow yourself to learn more. And during this pandemic that we have had to be far away from each other, this is the moment that we need to utilize to learn new things on how to connect with people. Allow yourself to learn more. Second thing, give the opportunity to take good decisions. As we have been changing our to-do list, our bucket list, and start to make the good decisions that you need to make. King Nebuchadnezzar sadly had to experience 7 years of a lot of suffering. But at the end, he realized the best decision that I can take, the best decision that I can make is being connected to God, giving glory to him because he is the source of everything. It might be hard because you might be too comfortable with every success that you might have, but remember, good decisions. This is the time to make it. And the best decision is to serve people. And the third lesson, it gives us a deeper appreciation for what we have now. Like I've been repeating many times, look at what you have in your house. There are so many things that are a blessing. There might be clothes that you haven't put on in many years or many times, but you still have it. Maybe somebody else can use it. Shoes or things, different appliances that you have at the home, or things that you haven't been using in a long time, but God is asking, hey, you have been successful. You have been enjoying the blessing. You have been enjoying everything that I have prepared for you, that I have given you. But now is the time to give to people. This pandemic has changed many perspectives. Me. And you started to see that there's a lot of people that are needing things that you have. This is the moment for you to remember that God, yes, has blessed you in many ways, but now is the time for us to be a blessing for others, to benefit and bless people, because this is what God is asking us to do. Look at this video because it encapsulates the service and how we need to connect with the community around us. I apologize. I don't know what's happening. There's some sound that is not coming.
He helps me with walking. He's always there for me.
And on this journey,
really well.
Hunter, carrying his younger brother.
I carried Braden on my back as long as I can remember. Sometimes it feels more natural to have him on my back than it does to have him off.
Checking in every day with their supporters.
It's gonna be about 18 miles today.
There were so many cheers along the route. And 110 miles in, Braden gets down and walks the final half mile himself. And it turns out it's little Braden, who tonight is proud of his big brother.
He's made a lot of change in the world. So if everyone can be like that, then the world will be a great place.
Did you hear that? The world will be a great place if we start to help one another, if we start to support one another. Connect with your community. The best sermon that we can preach, it's the way that we live, giving us many options, many opportunities. And this pandemic, this situation, it's the prime opportunity with just as Jesus did with all of us. King Nebuchadnezzar had to go through an experience needing something. Let's think about exactly what Ellen G. White said in this transmission, that are listening to the blessings to many other people, because that is the purpose that he has placed in all of us. So Belgium Youth Congress leaders, Belgium youth that are here in every other country that is represented. The desire is for you guys to start to do that, connect with the community, because God is giving you success. God is giving you a blessing in order for you to share it, because happy is the one that can bless others as well. Father, we thank you because you don't see who we are. You see what we can be and who can be in your hands. Today, oh Lord, same advice that Daniel was given to Nebuchadnezzar is that advice for us. Is stop thinking about ourselves. Stop thinking about what we want. but I started thinking about how we can be the helping hand for people, how we can bless them, how we can benefit them. And Father, I want to place in your hands all the youth, all the people that are listening to this and are following it. Bless them all, Father, because yes, we'll be finishing our youth congress for this year, a very different year than any other. We might be finishing it. We might be stopping. We might be concluding this congress. But then the real mission starts. That we need to start being a benefit for somebody else. So please, Father, bless all the youth, young adults, leaders, everybody is listening to this broadcast. Give them that connection. Give them that divine day that they need to have.